It's not looking pretty bad actually. Again, there's a lot of light here, so I just come and paint this over. I think I still have some warmth here. I go to another adjustment layer, color balancing, and put a color mode again. Get some cools in here. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty okay for now. Before I do more, I'm going to come and add some. I have another shot for those shores from the same image set. I think this looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna use this guy because the other one was a little out of focus. You see it's blurry here. And I just want these sharp rocks here. And I'm gonna get this and I'll do another matte cropping. It's good that you have a good understanding of these matte croppings because it's a really powerful tool and you're gonna need this a lot. Now we can use this on the front side of the boat to make a nice blending. And I think I will add this in the layer of Drakkar. I know it's a shore element, but I don't want to get a separate layer for this. So this will be a part of the boat. And I should probably be matching the angle and the lighting so things are lit from this side, right? So just flip this, little bit of distortion. So you see it's just matching the angle of my shoreline. And I think I should place it somewhere around here. I think it's going to be a nice blending. So you see how I just have a little bit of rocks under the boat and the color is pretty close, so I still have to check with my values. And the lights and the darks should be almost the same with the underneath layer. Again, Ctrl+G with the clipping mask on, just darken here. I think it's almost there, and a lot of purplish blues here. Just come and get rid of that. And again, you see this is very cool here and it's a little bit warmer on the side. So I probably add that later. And just for now, I like these two layers to be matching in color-wise. So I gotta add a little bit of color balance. You see how this is warm comparing to this part. And I'm just gonna get this, go to shadow. It's pretty cool. I still have some purple here. And just go back to reds and just get rid of that a little bit. Yeah, not the green. Swing it back, and then the blue. Levels. I made it way cooler than it has to be. Let's do the blending first, and then I'll probably have a better understanding if they're okay or not. So again, get a hard brush, not a soft brush. I'll show you why you don't want soft brush in this part, because you have a lot of hard edges and you don't want this small blending that your painting will look very amateur. So you need to get a nice hard brush with some textures in it. I can try this one. I have a lot of brushes, and you should be always getting all these brushes, and you always need like different brushes depending on what project you do. You never know what you're gonna need. So having different variation of brushes for like hair, for wood and texture, some rain effects, splash, like clouds, it's very useful, and you can use them even with your matte paintings or even your concept and everywhere. The way I showed you how you make the shapes is the same way you can do the brushes. Okay, so as I told you, I don't want soft stuff here, so I will get a little harder brush. And get rid of these small rocks. I want to have my big rocks in there most of the time, so I just come and clean some of these rocks. You see, these end up being a little soft, so I don't want that. Actually, there's a nice big rock here. Just put this back. It's a pretty okay blending, but the thing is, you see a lot of sand, a lot of simple stuff here, and a lot of rocks in the middle. That looks a little awkward, so I probably come and try to clean this part and get this sand a little more instead of those bluish rocks. And then you can just come and paint underneath these rocks. And yeah, I think this is becoming a little bit better. And I think I should get rid of some of these. I don't want too much vegetation, probably. So let's see what is underneath. Yeah, for the boat. So I'll come and erase some part of the boats, because now it's getting visible. So this way the boat will be looking as it's just covered with the rocks or whatever. So I'll probably add some rocks in here too. Yeah, it's not too bad actually. I might come and add a little bit bigger rock here. I think these two rocks, let me see, are just making me a little uncomfortable. It's a little bit better. And even this green vegetation, just I want to get rid of. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better. And also, almost forgot to clean the boat. So I make another layer, just Ctrl-Alt-G to put it back and just paint this light out. I just color pick the darkness from the side of the boat and just paint it over. So it doesn't matter, there's not much detail, it's dark in here and you don't want to see these. You don't want these lights here much. I can actually come and maybe use the burn tool. Let's see, burn the highlights. Let's see if it's gonna work. Then you might don't even need to paint it out. Yeah, it's still working. So you see, you just do this. Yeah, it's working pretty good. And then you see how dark this part is. I probably want the same darkness here. Yeah, just a little bit of dark. Sorry. Okay, so it's looking pretty okay. And honestly, I might keep these sticks so they're like holding the boat here, but I'm not sure. So I probably have to come and do a little bit of cleaning here. This is looking pretty okay now, and let me see how it looks if I just raise these guys up a little more. Okay, so it's not too bad. So I probably have to just do something this side. Let's see if there are rocks in here. I can bring them back. And yeah, they're not much. Let's duplicate these two guys. And then let's kill my mask. And just see if I can use a little bit more rocks in here, which actually I can. So I'm gonna scale this down. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I think this is okay. And then just kill this layer and come and paint a little bit more. So I should have some dark rocks in here. I think it's not too bad. I'm going to jump on the structure part now. So just put everything together, almost fit. And then when everything is in the scene, then we can have a better judgment. We can look at the scene and try to understand what needs to be added or what needs to be adjusted. I'll just keep this here and go to the next chapter and then just add the structure. It's gonna be a real basic structure here, and then we can move on and do some final passes. Now we're done with the ship. In the next lesson, we're going to add the castle to our painting.